of The Richest in Babylon. And today we're going to be looking at chapter 6, which is titled The Gold Lender of Babylon. Trust me when I say that this chapter is full of lessons on how to handle your money, to make sure that your money does not escape from your hand, to put your money to good use, right? All right, so sit back, relax as we delve into this review. All right, so 50 pieces of gold were given to a man named Rodan, and at first he was very happy. Rodan was a spear maker in the city of Babylon, and the king had given him this amount of money because the king really liked one design that Rodan made for him. So he decided to reward him by giving him 50 pieces of silver. This money brought Rodan so much joy at first because he felt that, wow, it was the money. Now he's rich. He can buy whatever he wants to buy, any land that he wants, houses, camels, horses, gold, whatever he wanted, he could buy, right? But after a few days, Rodan actually became sad. And what was making him sad? The same 50 pieces of gold were making Rodan sad, and he decided to go to a man called Methan, who was a money lender in Babylon. And Methan was surprised that you're coming to me for advice. Yes, he actually wanted advice, not to borrow money from Methan, because Methan was a money lender. And Methan was surprised. Why are you here to seek advice? Nobody has ever come to me for advice. All that people come for is money. They want to borrow money. Meanwhile, I am the one in the best position to give them advice on money because I've been able to make so much money to the point that I can lend to people. Anyways, Methan was happy that Rodan wanted his advice, and he decided to treat him as a special guest, bring nice foods for him, drinks, wine, and everything. And this is what was troubling Rodan. With this 50 pieces of silver, he was sad that his sister wanted him to lend this money to her husband, claiming that her husband needed this money to do business. So this made Rodan sad because he really loved his sister, and he did not know how he would turn down his sister's request. But at the same time, he wasn't sure. He was worried that if he should lend his sister's husband the money, he might not be able to get it back. And we all know that if you want to destroy any relationship faster, just let money be involved, right? If you don't do your due diligence, if you lend out your money based on sentiment, if your money is gone or if anything happens, you're not able to get your money back, or the other party does not want to pay. These are the things that destroy relationships faster. And Rodan did not want this, right? So he went to Methan, the money lender, to ask him for advice. What should I do? Should I give my sister's husband this money or not? I don't want to offend my sister. And the money lender sat him down and he told him a story. He said a long time ago, there was this farmer. The farmer had different animals, but amongst these animals, there were two. There was this ox, O-X, and an ass, A-S-S. And one day, the ox was complaining to the ass that, I work so much, whether I feel well or not, I'm just being made to pull the plow. I work from morning till night. My feet hurt. I do so much work. Meanwhile, you, the ass, you don't even do so much apart from carry the master from one place to another. And anytime the master is resting, you too, you are resting. You are so lucky. And the ox said, you know what? Don't worry. I feel your pain. I know how you feel, right? I'm going to teach you a trick. I'll give you an advice. You see, tomorrow morning, when the slave comes to take you out to plow, you will lie down on the ground and pretend as if you are sick. And if you do so, the slave is going to go away to tell the master that, oh, the ox is sick today. He cannot plow. And that was a good idea, right? So the next day when the slave came, he found the ox lying on the ground, And he went back to tell the master that, oh, the ox is sick today. The ox cannot pull any plow today. So the master said, then go for the ass. Don't forget, it was the ass that gave him this advice. Go for the ass, because the plowing must go on. Work must not stop on the farm. So go for the ass, since the ass is well. And that was how they picked the ass. And the ass that would usually not do much work was now made to plow that entire day. By the time it was done, he was tired, his neck hurt, his legs hurt, his back hurt. He was so tired, and he became bitter. He became so bitter, and then was complaining to the ox that, you see now, I gave you advice. I was only trying to be helpful. Now I was made to do your work. The entire burden was now put on me. So the moneylender, Maton, was trying to teach Rodan a very important lesson from this story by telling him that you must not bring the burden of your friend upon yourself, all in the name of trying to help. That means that as much as you want to help anybody in life, do the help that you can freely give in such a way that you are not going to carry the burden that you do not bargain for, right? A lot of people want to help, but in your helping, you are now carrying somebody else's burden. At the end of the day, you become bitter that you were only trying to offer a little help. Now, everything has been put on your head. You know, I can only think of this example. Sometimes when an accident happens, maybe on a highway, on the road, wherever, right? A lot of people don't want to stop. Even though we are supposed to be good Samaritans, we're supposed to stop to help the accident victims. And let me be specific now to the context of Nigeria. People do not want to stop, except those who really have a heart, who really have hearts of gold, right? And against all odds, they're like, oh, I really need to help these accident victims. Those are the people that stop. But in so many cases, people don't want to stop. And this is the reason. The moment they stop and they carry the accident victims, maybe to the hospital, when they get to the hospital will ask them to go and bring police reports. When they get to the police station, the police will ask them to write a statement. They will question them. They will interrogate them. Are you sure you are not the one that hit the car? Are you sure you are not the one that killed this person? Are you sure you are not the one that caused the accident, right? And then if they eventually get these police reports, they take it back to the hospital. The hospital will ask them, please, you need to make a deposit before we can treat this patient. You see all the hassles involved. And this is why some people don't like to help, because the burden comes on them, right? That is lesson number one. And the money lender now brought out some tokens from his token chest to show Rodan, the guy who has the 50 pieces of gold, that, see, these are different tokens. I'm a money lender. And each token here is for each person who has borrowed money from me. And he told them several stories. There are some who would borrow money and wouldn't pay. There are some, they wouldn't pay. They have no intention of paying. They still would not have kind words. They'll be like, why are you bothering me? You're a money lender. You have so much money. Please don't disturb me. And there are some who would borrow money. They would honorably pay back. But for each of them, it would make sure that it gets a security. Pardon my English. You would make sure that it gets security, as in collateral, so that if you are not able to pay back, he has something in his possession that he can resell or do whatever he wants with to reclaim his money. That is something wise that this money lender does. And this is to tell you that if you have any money you want to lend to anybody, don't be sentimental. You are not under any obligation to lend anybody money, no matter how close you had to the person. And this is the truth, right? This is the absolute truth. Don't be moved by emotions. Make sure you do your due diligence. Does the person have security to drop? Do they have any collateral? If they have, then you can lend them. So he told him several stories, showing him different tokens. Some of them, the borrower has passed on. he cannot get his money back. To some of them, he has the collateral. He can resell if he wants. He can sell whatever collateral. He told him different stories. And at the end of the day, he said that humans, when we are in our greatest emotions, we cannot be trusted. So don't be moved by emotions. Make sure you always do your due diligence. Otherwise, your money is going to grow wings and they are going to fly away from you, right? And when I was on telling him all the story, Rodan said, but you have not answered my question. Should I lend my sister's husband this money? He claims that he wants to use it for business and that he's going to make more money and repay me. And then this guy asked him, this business that he wants to do, is he experienced in this business? Does he know where he's going to get these goods for at very cheap rates? Does he know where he's going to sell them or how he's going to sell them to make good profits so that he'll be able to pay you back? Is he familiar with this business that he wants to do? If the answer is yes, then bring him to me. Tell him that I want to see him so that we can draft an agreement. Even though he's your sister's husband, there must be an agreement. If he can prove that he knows this business that he wants to do. I hope it is not my own network. Please, somebody else should confirm. Am I good? Or is it? Okay, thank you very much. All right, but if he cannot confirm, then don't lend him any money. Don't lend him any money. And I know that your sister is going to be hurt. Tell your sister. Before then, the money lender asked him, how many years have you been working for as a spear maker? He said 3 years. And since these 3 years that you have been working, how much have you saved? He said he had saved 3 pieces of gold. That means each year he saved only 1 piece of gold. And now that the king dashed him 50 pieces of gold, he said that the 50 pieces of gold would have taken him 50 years to save. So he was telling him that it is unwise to just give this 50 pieces of gold to your brother-in-law, your sister's husband, just like that. Your 50 years of hard labor, you want to lend it to your sister's husband, all in the name of relationship, all in the name of sentiment. If you do that, you are going to regret this all your life if you don't get the money back. But if you put this money to good use, you will gain good fortune, right? This was the warning that the money lender gave him. If he knows about the trades that he wants to do and he's familiar with it, he's experienced at it, fine, he can enter into an agreement. Don't even still give him with empty mouth. Let him bring some form of security, collateral. I hope that the lesson is being driven in at this point, right? So that you'll be very, very cautious with your money. Don't live in denial. He must prove that he is able to succeed. Right. Okay, otherwise, don't lend him any money. So tell your sister, that's my sister, these 50 pieces of gold, it would have taken me 50 years of hard labor to save up this money. But now you want me to give it to your husband. If your husband doesn't pay this money back, you know that I am going to live in regrets all my life. Because money is easy to lend, but money is not easy to repay or to recover. People always have all kinds of sweet stories anytime they want to borrow money. But when it is time to repay, it is not as easy. Some of them will change into something you would never imagine in your life. You'd be like, I never knew you were like this. Money do change people, right? So be careful. Be very, very cautious. Do not be swayed by the fantastic plans of impractical men who think they see ways to force thy gold to make earnings unusually large. That means that any money that you have, we've said this in previous chapters, don't be moved to put your money into any get quick rich scheme. Make sure that you're cautious of what you want to put your money into. Don't be swayed by foolish sentiments of obligation to trust thy treasure to any person, no matter who the person is, right? And you too, as a person, don't be easily moved to go and borrow money. You must sit down. It is good to borrow money if you want to use it for a good cause, maybe for business, investment, something that is going to bring you more money. It is not a bad idea. So many people who started their businesses and are doing well today, they started with borrowed money, loan, right? If that is what you want to do. But before you borrow any money, make sure you sit back, because it is easy to borrow money. Make sure you sit back. Am I going to put this money to good use? This business that I want to do, have I learned about it? Am I familiar with it? Am I not going to be scammed? Am I going to have time to run this business? These are the things you will ask yourself, the questions you will ask yourself before you borrow money. And before you lend anybody money, do your due diligence. Let there be an agreement. Let me quickly tell you this story before I go, and then we'll wrap up this chapter 6. Anyways, in 2018, I was in the UK, and this friend of mine called me from Nigeria to say that, she was into business. She ordered some goods on Alibaba.com, and the agent did not tell her that it was going to cost her a lot of money to clear these goods, that I should please lend her 50,000 naira. Meanwhile, a little bit of background story. Meanwhile, before I left Nigeria for the UK, I had lost touch with this friend for a couple of years. We did not see, we used to be very good friends, right? But something happened and we were not so close anymore. So, like a few weeks to when I would leave Nigeria to go to the UK, I got reconnected with her through another mutual friend. And it happened that the day that I got reconnected with her was the day that I received an email from the UK embassy that my visa had been approved, and it was on that particular day. So I told her, I'll be traveling, and all of that. So I guess she had calculated, okay, and we didn't see again after that time, because like 2 weeks or less after that time, I traveled to the UK. Only for her to call me on this day that, I should lend her 50,000 naira. I was with my husband. Her network was very bad from her end, right? And the call kept going off, but she kept on calling back. At a point, I was like, she should just chat. But no, she kept on calling back. And eventually, I got her message. And my husband and I quickly signaled to each other. And I said, I don't have money to lend you. Before she asked for that 50,000 naira, she had told me, she had buzzed me like twice to say that, that I should be buying some goods from the UK and sending them down to Nigeria, that she will sell them and then we'll make profits, we'll share the profit or something like that. I said I was not interested, because I know that I don't want to do business from afar. If I'm not on ground to monitor my business, I don't trust it to that extent, I said no. She called back again that, okay, if I don't trust her that much or I'm not comfortable, I should be sending it. And she and my sister in Nigeria would be selling together. I said I still wasn't interested. It was the third time that she now came up with 50,000 naira, right, that I should give her. So because of her antecedents, the plans that she had been coming up with, I knew that she was looking for a way to just get money from me. So as the nice person now that I am, I told her that I cannot give you 50K at this point, but I can give you 5,000 naira. I can lend you 5,000 naira. And that 5,000 naira, I knew that I could forego it if she did not pay back. I can easily let that money go, right? And this is another lesson. Any money you cannot forego, don't lend it to anybody. Don't. If the person wants 100,000 pounds, if it is only 100 pounds you can afford, you can easily forgo in case the person does not pay back and you are not sure if this person will pay back. Give the person that 100 pounds, right? If you must lend any money, let there be a concrete agreement. So I thought that she was going to be angry that 5K, from 50K to 5K. Well, she said I should bring it. And she promised that she was going to pay in February. Yes. This was 2018. I think it was like in December. I can't even remember. But she promised to pay back like in February of the next year. And I said, okay. I'd even forgotten about it. But after a while, I realized that I have not heard from her in a long time. Before then, she would chat me once in a while. We're Facebook friends and all of that. So I went on Facebook. Before I went on Facebook, I called her number. Her number was not reachable. I was like, I hope she's fine. So I went on Facebook, and lo and behold, I saw that she had blocked me. She had blocked me on Facebook, and it dawned on me that her number that was unreachable, she actually blocked me, right? And I just laughed, like, because of 5,000 you blocked me, or is it because I didn't give you 50K? I just laughed like that. Look at this one. Me that know your plan all along. I knew your plan all along. With all the plans, we'll sell, send clothes, send this, I'll be selling. I knew she was driving at something. So it shows the state of people's hearts when money is involved. The gentle, nice person that you see before money is involved may not be the same person by the time money is involved. So be cautious. Better a little caution than a great regret. Do your findings. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared that they will not be your friend again. Don't be scared that the relationship is going to turn sour. Don't be scared. Protect your own money. Imagine if this guy had given us 50 pieces of silver to the sister's husband, and the sister's husband misused it, the business does not do well, and things like that. He won't get his money back. He cannot disown his sister. Even if he disowned his sister, he will still live in bitterness all through his life. So be cautious, right? This is the end of chapter 6. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like this video, share your thoughts with me in the comment section below, and please subscribe to this channel in case you are yet to subscribe. I remain Olaide Agbaje, also known as First Lady, and on this channel, I inspire you to live intentionally. I'll come your way again tomorrow by the grace of God, and we'll look at the next chapter titled The Walls of Babylon. Tomorrow's review is going to be a very, very short one. This chapter only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pages. So make sure you come early. All right. Otherwise, you get here and the review is over. See you tomorrow. Until then, be intentional. Bye.